Hi everyone, my name is Mike Bryan. I'm happy to have here today Heather Hamilton. She's the Director of Community Engagement at Adams Lane Healthcare and Rehabilitation and Willow Haven Healthcare and Rehabilitation. Thanks, Heather, for coming here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so these programs, you've done these before, and one of the primary reasons we like to do this is a lot of folks don't know what to expect. They don't know if they have a loved one that all of a sudden needs care. They don't really know where to go to next, and this has been a good first place to start by looking at these videos and see what's going to be the best fit for their loved one. So first things first, so you're at two buildings, and where are these located, and what's the best way to get in contact with you?
They are both located here in Zanesville. Adams Lane is on Adams Lane, and Willow Haven is located on Taylor Street, which is just around the corner.
Okay. And what's a good phone number and email to reach you if someone wants to reach out to you that way?
My cell phone is 740-683-7281, and my email is hhamilton@adamslanehc.com.
Okay. All right. And I know on Certus's main website, it's www.certushc.com, and they can pick different locations from there. And I feel like there's, when I looked at that earlier, there's a video tour there as well, and some photos and a description of what the amenities are. But if you're like me, I always like to talk to a person too,
absolutely.
so that's a way to get started, at least for folks. And at each building, let's start with Adams Lane. What services are offered there?
Adams Lane is a 114-bed facility. We do have 25 skilled private rooms for people that's just coming to get therapy and plan to go back home. And there is 3 hallways of long-term, which is mostly semi-private. And then we have a 25-bed secure memory care unit known as our Blue Sky Living.
Okay.
And we do offer smoking at Adams Lane. Adams Lane is also has a long-term care contract with the VA. So anybody that's needing long-term placement and they are service connected to the VA will pay that at 100%.
Okay. All right. And then what about at Willow Haven?
Willow Haven it's a 81-bed facility. They do short-term, long-term, of course, hospice, respite care. They do have some butterfly rooms that are like semi-private, but they feel like a private because they have kind of like a wall that divides them. So, and of course, they can get their therapy. They also, both buildings do short-term skilled VA. So if they have VA services and they're just looking to get therapy and go home, the VA will cover either of the buildings.
And that's good to know. I don't know if a lot of folks know that's something that's available. So that's good for that short-term coverage. All right, and I believe you mentioned this earlier, but at both buildings, as far as therapies are concerned, PT, OT, speech, all that is included there. And then if someone does want to schedule a tour, how does that work? Do they just give you a call?
Yep, you can just reach out to me at my cell phone number. Again, that is 740-683-7281. I'll be glad to give you a tour of either one of our communities.
So let's say that someone they've gone through the tour, they've done their research, and they've decided that, look, this is the place that we want our loved one to be. I know that there's some agreements they have to sign, and they can, I assume, take that paperwork with them if they want to review that at home and get that back to you. After that's all completed, what is move-in day like?
Move-in day, they come to the facility. I can show them to their room. We'll do an inventory of all their belongings. Therapy, we'll do evals to see what we need to do to help get them to their highest function. Things like that. Just get them adjusted to the building, get their medications ordered, and try to make it as smooth as possible.
And then as far as bringing things from home, is there room to bring any other furniture or things already there? What should they expect there?
If they're coming for long term, they can bring like their own dresser or recliner. If they want like their own comforter to make the room a little more homely,
sure, they
can. Anything like that really. Short term, we do provide a recliner and a TV. Of course, cable and internet's also included.
Okay. Now, one of the questions that I get quite a bit is, okay, this is all great, but how do I pay for this, right?
Yeah.
And so I know that at both buildings, you can privately pay, you can use Medicaid, Medicare, and VA, as you mentioned already. You have the VA contract for Adams Lane, for both really short-term and long-term. And then with Willow Haven, you have the short-term option there. And then with other insurance, I know I get questions quite a bit too about, can I use my Advantage plan here? Because sometimes you have some issues with Advantage plans not working in certain places. And do most are most covered there?
We take most of all the high, the major insurances.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anything else that you'd like to mention about either building that stands out from other buildings?
We do have a lot of longevity within our buildings. A lot of people's been there 20, 30 years within our kitchen, our housekeeping, and our management staff. So that's, I guess, really important. So a lot of people, when we give tours and stuff, that's something I like to bring up, and it kind of makes them feel a little more comfortable about bringing their loved ones. So
that makes sense, because you want to go someplace that you have folks that have years of experience in this, because otherwise, if I needed care, I wouldn't want someone who just started yesterday, and so I think that says a lot too. So, okay. Well, I think that gives everyone a pretty good feel for what to expect at really both buildings, and so I appreciate you doing this today and taking the time. And so for anyone who's listening out there, if you do have questions about either Adams Lane or Willow Haven, please reach out to Heather, and I'm sure she'll be happy to help.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for stopping today.